Would you like your children to be what? Actors, sportsmen, what?
Sports people, yes. I'd love my son to be a soccer player if he can, if he wants to. He does taekwondo and he plays a bit of soccer. My daughter is very good. She's amazingly sporty. And I first want them to be taller than me, both of them. Second, I want them to be, I think they're really good at sports, both of them. They run fast, they play hard, and they enjoy it. I like the fact that they're unkempt and ungroomed and dirty. They come back from school and you know that they've been rolling in the mud. So I'm very proud of them for that. I think they're studying hard and making an effort. Whatever they want to be. I think the life, they have two problems. One, life has been easy for them, and I'll make it even as easy as I can. So maybe they won't have the depth to be great actors, but I will hopefully launch them and make them big stars. Second part is, I hope they never have to live under the shadow of their father's name. And in this field, maybe I've created that shadow which might cover them. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm some big guy, but I think they will have to somehow find their own footings, be an individual on their own, and have an identity, whether it's in acting, whether it's in sports. My daughter acts quite well. It's a good mimic. My son is devastatingly good looking. So, you know, you either be talented, or you be good looking and you can be a star, and or you can be like me, be neither, and still be a big star. So I think whatever they wish to be, I'd be just happy that they're happy and doing something nice.
But Shahrukh, you know, you are also an icon in many ways, very interestingly, because you are a symbol of secular India. I mean, you know, for what you are, the way you have been, the roles you play, in many ways you symbolize secular India. And the interesting thing is that, you know, in my family, for instance, my mother, who's 65-year-old, is a fan of yours. My niece, who's 22-year-old, is a fan of yours. My husband, who's 44-year-old, is a fan of yours. And I'm sure my 20-month-old baby will be a fan of yours.
I'm working on you. I'll make sure you're a fan of mine also, because you conveniently forgot that.
No, I'm the interviewer. I have to be, you know.
Saying we'll get KKR to win, saying don't worry.
So that, you know, isn't that a huge responsibility? Because you're cutting across age, you're cutting across communities. In a way, you kind of symbolize post-liberalized India, don't you?
Yes, it's now I find it a responsibility. Earlier, I just did what my values told me to. So the choice of films I've done, if you notice them, somewhere down the line, there's some people may call them non-edgy, but I think it's for the 65-year-old grandmom and mom. It's for that 20-month-old baby. It's for the dad. I like my films to be universal, and I try to keep them like this. Sometimes the creative guy says, yes, do a dar, you know, do a bazigar, do a don. So I do them. But I still try and keep them within some parameters of what everybody can go and watch. Or even if they don't go when it's coming on television, it's not like, oh, that film is coming, switch it off, switch it off. It should not be like that. It can be, listen guys, you don't see it. Like with my kids, I watch a film and I'm like, eyes closed, ears shut. So they go like that. It's open, so they open. And the film is fine, you know. Sometimes mommy gets a little, you know, to tell them to keep quiet. I'm like, it's okay, as long as it's a basically decent entertainment. So yes, you're right, a lot of responsibility. And I get worried about it, yeah. There are times when I want to just do a freewheeling film and say, okay, let me be edgy. But then
You would never do a Kill Bill kind of a film.
Oh, I'd love to do a film like Kill Bill.
It's so violent.
Yeah, it is very violent. But I'd make it artistically, I'll make it more lovable violent. I think it's an outstanding film. The kids like it, huh? Kids like that film.
Your kids have seen?
Oh, yeah, they've seen. And I think, you know, some of the things, the way they're done, Quentin Tarantino is outstanding. So some of the films, you know, now they've started using too much blood, hands cutting and all. You don't need to show. I think you can make it more artistic and pretty, or good looking, or non-scary. I do. When I fight, I love fighting. I love action films. I love blood and shooting and killing. Unfortunately, nobody thinks I'm tough enough to do that. I built a six-pack, I did everything, but they're like, no, you come here and go, tujhe dekha to ye jana.
Don't tell me you are like every other boy who loves Godfather. I mean, it's the beginning and end of all films.
White vest, hair slicked back, dark glasses.
Chirut.
Pretty girls, yeah. Chirut I won't say because people don't like me smoking, so I won't talk about it on TV. And before you say hello, I shoot you. That's my dream. And I want to say, you're talking to me? I want to be an Italian. Yeah, I want to be an Italian mafia guy, mafiosi. I love it. What would I do? I mean, I would kill to be in films like this. And maybe I still have a chance. I think I'm 42, 43 now. Another couple of years, maybe I'll go completely mad.
And if you were to pick one brand which you identify with? Just one brand which you look up to, which you respect. Which one would that be?
Amongst the ones I do, that would be unfair.
Otherwise, you don't even have to pick something that you do. Globally, locally, one brand.
I think at this point of time, Bollywood is a great brand. I think that's an outstanding brand. And I found out that we don't have the rights to it. Somebody's bought the patent, and
Is that right?
I know a trademark has been trademarked by some Americans, I think.
Some squatter.
But
I'm sure.
just trust Americans to do that. But they have done it. So, but I think it's a great brand. I think it stands for kitsch, it stands for raw, it stands for emotion, it stands for wrong coming right, it stands for great business, it stands for organization and disorganization, method and madness, and stands for a lot of fun and warmth. And in a certain way, I think, whenever a country is doing well, the cultural or the entertainment aspect of it starts coming to fore.
Soft power.
Yes, and you hear about Korean films, but Korea's doing well. You hear about Japanese films, Japan's doing well. Of course, American films we've always heard of. Suddenly you're not hearing of too many European films and, English films. I'm not deriding anyone, but it's done and over with. And I think overall, when you go to America now, or to the western part or the eastern part, all you're hearing is India is being equated to Bollywood. I'm sorry I'm making a comment like this, but it's like Brazil is known for Brazil nuts or coffee. So suddenly India is like Bollywood. And I think that's outstanding. I mean, we should be known for bauxite and aluminium, but we are known for Bollywood. And I think it's because of the country, but the face of it, the soft, the cover, the packaging, I think it's a great brand to be a part of. I'm really lucky that there was a time I didn't like the term, but I'm sure there's a time a lot of people didn't like SRK either. So it's like that.
Was that your idea?
I like to write, what do you say, a bye-bye at the end of it all, courtesy-wise.
Right.
And when SMSs came on, I hate SMSing. My fingers are too fat. And also, there were a lot of SK. Sarojji was SK Saroj Khan. And so I just said, no, my name is actually two separate names. Very few people know this. It's Shah, and then it's Rukh, and then it's Khan.
So
there
your
three.
name actually
SRK.
means what you are. You are King Khan, and
it means a prince-like face.
Shah is
I said humbly.
But talking about Bollywood, someday, very soon, Bollywood would overtake Hollywood as a brand?
Well, yes, as a brand, and I think we own about 3% or to 1% or 2% of market share. But, when you talk about China and India, but we have the eyeballs. I mean, people say that I'm such a big star in the world, not because of Western eyeballs. I'm a big star because of the Indian eyeballs. We are 1 billion people. Somewhere, making a lot of love and making a lot of babies is going to be a positive thing. And I think the time has come. You always say make love, not war. So China and India has made a lot of love and a lot of babies. And now these babies are going to take over the world. So I think India will take over in every field, inshallah.
Shah Rukh Khan, thanks very much for talking to
Thank you,
Retina.
All the best.